So welcome back to another episode, and today I thought I'd talk about some early impressions from two games I've been playing for the last week here, and one of them is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and the other one is Dragon Quest Heroes 2. And I wanted to review them both because they're both very similar to their predecessors, and I'm going to get into that, and I'm going to talk about, are these games worth buying? There's a lot to talk about. Now, in 2014, this little game here, Mario Kart 8, was my game of the year. It's already been 3 years since this was released. It's amazing to think about. I love this game. I played it every day. I was very competitive with it. Thought it was so great. Now, flash forward to now. The Switch version has come out, Mario Kart Deluxe 8. How is this version of it? There's 48 tracks, all the DLC is, that was available for Mario Kart 8 is in the Switch version. There's new racers, there's new parts for your karts. We also have battle mode. That was something that was really missing. The classic battle mode from the original games was really missing from 8, and they brought that back. And the online features, let's get into it. I gotta say, I've been having a blast with Mario Kart 8, and look at this. This is one of the things that makes it so cool, is that it's portable, it's on the TV, it's all of those things. I could just lift this out off the dock, walk into the other room, be online, do battle mode with a friend in Toronto, and I've been testing all of the battle modes. I've been playing completely online for most of it to get the new experience of this game, and how is it? So much fun. It is so much fun. The strange thing is, if you have this game, is it worth it to upgrade to the new version just for, having all the DLC in there and the battle mode and some new characters? Is it worth it for that? I say if you have a Switch and you've never played a Mario Kart game, you have to buy this game without a doubt, without thinking about it. But if you have it on the Wii U, think about it, take a couple of moments to think about it. Do you really need the battle mode? Is it worth it for you to upgrade and to do all of that stuff? That's the debatable thing. I've been playing this, and for me, what makes it worthwhile is the portability of it. Now, I'm just going to say that I enjoy portable gaming a lot. I really do. But the size of the screen on the Switch makes this a lot more enjoyable for me in a lot of ways. Is that when I'm sitting down and look at this. These are all the different ways that you can play it. Put out the kickstand. I can bring up a Pro controller and be playing this. And Kim was playing Persona the other night, and I'm just sitting here playing this. And I completely didn't even think that I wasn't playing on a TV. The resolution is high enough that I'm completely immersed in the game. I can see what's going on. If I die, that's my own fault because I sucked at the game at one time or another. One thing I do want to mention, and something when I was recording a lot of this footage that me and even my friend Jay Hooft did not know, is that assist driving is on as almost a default, I think. We didn't even notice this. We were just like, why do we have some antennas sticking out of the back of our karts? And I was also noticing, I'm like, wow, I'm not falling off the edge a lot of times. I'm like, what's happening? You have to go into the menu and turn it off so you can play it normally. Assisted driving will not let you fall off the edges. It kind of helps you out through certain turns, gets you back on track, where it's also a hindrance online. I think you take a penalty for it. I was losing a lot of races, and I was like, why am I losing these races? Because assisted driving was on. You got to turn that off. And then I was doing a lot better. So unfortunately, most of the footage I captured was with assisted driving on. One recommendation is to definitely turn that off. My favorite online mode is Balloon Battle, where you can face up to your friends or CPUs and just fight it out, try to destroy the other person's balloons by shooting items at them. And this is classic from Mario Kart. I was really happy to see this again and really enjoyable. And okay, so here's the thing. Online has been extremely good, and I would think that the game comes out later in the week, so at this point it's already working. I've gotten disconnected a few times, I will say that. In the middle of a match, boom, I'm just disconnected, but I think when the game goes live this Thursday, it should be pretty good. I've had no real issues. I've been walking around the house, testing it out, and for the most part, the online has been exceptionally good. And I've been playing people in Germany, all over the world, and I've really enjoyed it. So To start with, I'll say that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is a winner for me. It has every single thing in it that a Mario Kart game should have. And I'm really thinking for the future is like, this feels like the best kart game ever made. How do you improve on this? How will they get it better in the future? Well, that's Nintendo's problem, not mine. I just get to enjoy this game, and I'm so happy I have it loaded on the Switch. If it was just on a console version, I would enjoy it. But having the portability and to be able to take it anywhere and be able to play online via Wi-Fi, very cool. And just the size of the screen makes it worthwhile. Now, in 2015, Square Enix released a very interesting game, and I imported this game. I got the Japanese game to begin with, which is right here, because I had to try this out, and that was Dragon Quest Heroes. I also bought the special edition of the game when it came out. I was so into it. And this type of game is like Dynasty Warriors, like Hyrule Warriors, where you have some characters from the Dragon Quest universe and you fight hordes upon hordes of monsters. And the game was a great success for me. I loved it. I loved fighting hordes of slimes or, golems or anything like that. Any of the creatures from Dragon Quest. Just wonderful to see it in there. And I said it was one of my favorite games in that style of series. And that's because I lean heavily towards Dragon Quest. And now, a couple of years later, they've released another one. And let me say that the first one was a bit of a sleeper hit. And so I was fascinated that they were making another one. And what I want to say, like right out the bat, is that we've got some new characters. We've got a new story. Not related to the first one. It's kind of like the Dragon Quest series. The themes and characters and the monsters are the same, but none of the story is the same. So this was a brand new story. After 1,000 years of peace, 7 kingdoms are thrown into war again because of a mysterious figure in the background. And our heroes have come out to find out who this is and to stop them. And so you have a couple of original characters. You can pick a male or female character right off the bat, but you can always choose between all of the different characters at any time. So any of them can be your lead character. And a lot of recurring characters are coming back from the Dragon Quest series. Some of my favorites are here. Tornico Taloon from Dragon Warrior, the Merchant. I love this guy. I was so happy to see him in this game, and one of my favorite characters in the entire series. And how is the game itself? At this point in the game, you can change any of your skills and any of your classes at any point, and that's a welcome thing. But you can only do that for your main 2 characters. You can't do that for the rest of your characters. So if you wanted to change Taloon into like a sword-wielding, crazy character, barbarian character, that's not going to happen, unfortunately. The great thing is you can get monster medals, so you can turn into monsters. So at some point you can collect a whole bunch of them, and if you discover a really tough adversary, you can turn into like a gold golem and start smashing the hell out of them, which is so cool. Or you can just set some monsters just to randomly attack. Another welcome feature in Dragon Quest Heroes 2 is the run feature. A lot of times in the first game, you're kind of running along and, I had no issues with it. But with a run command, holy cow, you can cover a lot more ground, a lot faster, and it feels better. And that's a welcome addition because they've done something where they've improved the hub world of the first game. Now it feels like you're in one giant world. So you're running through a giant field, and then you're running into a castle with a town inside, running into another field. It's all kind of related, and it's seamless. It feels really, really good. Where in the first game, you're picking points in the map where to go, where it felt kind of disjointed that way, where they've really improved that with this game. So if you've played the first game, you really are going to feel at home in the second game and know everything to expect. As I say, they've improved a lot. Graphically, frame rate wise, it is gorgeous. It plays really, really fluidly, really perfectly. The music is classic Dragon Quest music. I love hearing like Dragon Warrior or Dragon Quest 2 music playing in the background while I'm fighting a ridiculous amount of monsters on the screen at one time. Beautiful stuff. I recommend Heroes 2, if you played the first game and you can't get enough, this game will satisfy you as well. It's about 40 hours in length, 45, 46, to a 50, depending on how much you want to grind in the game. And that's what you're doing most times in this game. fighting hordes and hordes of enemies, and that's really about it. So when you're fighting in the plains out there, in the plain fields, you're just fighting monsters, you're finding an occasional treasure chest and other items throughout, but there's not a lot of interaction other than that. There's a few characters you can talk to, but it's really a lot like the first game. So know that if you're on the fence about it, you know, I don't know whether I want to get this game. It's a lot like the first game with a lot of improvements. Take that into consideration. I love it, but remember one thing. I lean very heavily towards the Dragon Quest world. I'm a big fan of the series, so obviously any new Dragon Quest game I'm going to be a bit biased towards, I will say that. But honestly, as a playable game, it plays wonderfully. There's a lot of content in there. It's a lot of fun. So guys, I just wanted to recommend, Mario Kart Deluxe 8 and Dragon Quest Heroes 2. Two fantastic games, but very much like the original games that just came out a few years ago. So anyways, guys, until next time.